Hello, welcome to the San Gabriel Fire Department. I am Antonio Negretti. I'm a fire captain here at the San Gabriel Fire Department. And today's topic, as you can see, is going to be about fire extinguishers. Fire extinguishers are a great tool to have to keep a small fire from getting bigger and us having to get called out. It's something that we strongly encourage everybody to have so they can go ahead and possibly save their property or somebody else's property before we have to get called. So the two extinguishers that you see in front of me are two different types of fire extinguishers. Let's talk about the first one. This first one is a water extinguisher. It's pressurized water inside this silver can. There's about 2.5 gallons of water in here that is under pressure, so when you squeeze the trigger, the water shoots out so many feet and is able to put out the fire. Now, what you have to remember about this particular type of fire extinguisher is that there's only water in there and it's only able to extinguish one type of fire, what we call a Type A fire. Type A fires include wood, paper, something ordinary that you would be able to put out. What you don't want to use with this type of fire extinguisher is on an electrical fire or a flammable liquid fire, which we will demonstrate later on. You'll see what happens when we use this particular type of fire extinguisher. The second type of fire extinguisher is the one that we're going to be using in the demonstration later on today. This is a dry chemical fire extinguisher, and you can find this at any hardware store or home improvement store. This is the kind that we suggest that you purchase for your home or your auto. The great thing about this fire extinguisher is that it can put out all the different types of fires. It can put out the Class A fires, it can put out the Class B fires, which are flammable liquid fires, and it can put out the Class C fires, which are energized electrical, something that you would not want to obviously be using with a water extinguisher. And it works in pretty much the same manner. You squeeze the trigger, a powder comes out and it coats whatever is burning and it extinguishes the fire. So before we use these right here, let's talk about a few key components on what you want to remember when using a fire extinguisher. The acronym that we like to have everybody remember is PASS. PASS stands for pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. And before you use a fire extinguisher, this is what you want to remember as you walk up. So as you walk up to each extinguisher, you're going to want to make sure that the extinguisher is in good condition. More importantly, you're going to want to make sure that it has enough pressure inside to be able to discharge the powder that's in here that's going to allow you to extinguish the fire. So let's go over the acronym that we spoke of earlier. Remember, the first letter, P, is going to be pull. If you'll notice, each fire extinguisher has a pin that is located and locks the handle in place so you're unable to squeeze the powder that is in here. So remember, P is for pull. Pull the key. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to get up as close as you can as you feel is safe to the fire, and that's aim. You're going to want to aim this hose at the base of the fire, not on top, but at the bottom of the fire. The next thing you're going to want to know is you're going to go to your first S, and that's squeeze. Once this pin is pulled out, you're able to squeeze the handle of this fire extinguisher. So as you're walking up to the fire, you can squeeze the handle, the powder is going to come out, and you're going to be able to lay a blanket, in a sense, on whatever is burning. Finally, the last S is sweep. That's going to be where you're going to want to get this hose and you're going to want to sweep at the base of the fire. When the fire goes out, one last thing you want to remember, you never want to turn your back on the fire. You always want to face the fire and back away as you're facing the fire. That way, if it reignites, you can go back in and completely put out the fire. So that's basically it. Let's go ahead to our demonstration and we can talk about what's going on and you can see it put to use. Okay, so right now we're behind Station 51 and we have set up a burn pan so we can demonstrate to you the capabilities of a fire extinguisher. What Firefighter Patterson is going to do first, he's going to light off the burn pan, and the first extinguisher he's going to show you is the water extinguisher. And it'll demonstrate just how dangerous it is to use a water extinguisher on a flammable liquid fire. And then second, he will put out the fire using the correct type of fire extinguisher. All right, Brent, ready to go? Okay, here we go. So as a reminder, the first extinguisher that he's going to use first is a water extinguisher. And as you can see, that really didn't do much to the fire. All it did was spread it. So if you can imagine that happening inside your house or kitchen, it would spread it somewhere else. So watch what he does now. All right, you saw how easy it was. We have a small fire extinguisher and it put out a large amount of fire. And let's go over again what pass is. Pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. Always back away from the fire. And the most important thing, if you feel it's past your capability, have somebody call 911 or you call 911 and we'll respond and we'll be able to put it out for you. Thanks again for joining us. Once again, I'm Captain Antonio Negretti. This is Firefighter Brent Patterson. We'll see you next time.